results of this election to be the supreme pontiff. Leader at this moment who after Pope John leader on the world stage. In so many different surprise, my sense is one that so many people hope for a long.
He was very young, 8 when he was a figure grasped this office with such power, rather than an actual temporal.
Gaudium Magnum. Ac reverendissimum Dominum. Dominum te Romane Ecclesiae Post.
The next pope. There you see a picture of him on pope. Francis. Catholic Church bishop. He has shown his capacity to govern, shown his ability to be a diplomat within the church. Pope Francis relied in St. Peter's Square. Obviously, we don't want to talk about Cardinal Prevost.
He's a prior general from Villanova, being prior.
We know
Down with Leo XIII's encyclical Rerum Novarum, which was on. It's a nod, I
from Chicago, born there.
Chosen by popes. Pope Francis are been the point person with so many of you. Experience with, of course, is very important. There were a number of people who were considered to be front runners and all.
Gather that because it had some prominence going. elders, as they went into the Sistine Chapel and those doors,
find, and I think this is fair, there's no one who has a bad need to know this person, and the head of the responsible for bishop in a particular diocese. Know him as well.
like for Pope Leo XIV from the United States.
Fratelli, sorelle carissimi, questo è il primo saluto del Cristo risorto, il buon pastore che ha dato la vita per il gregge. Anch'io vorrei che questo saluto di pace entrasse nel vostro cuore, raggiungesse a tutte le persone, ovunque siano,
Greetings,
a
brothers
tutti
and
i
sisters.
popoli, a tutta la terra.
This is the May the peace be with you.
Sorto. Una
This is
pace umile e perseverante da Dio.
that is
Dio
humble
che ci
for all.
incondizionalmente. Ancora quella voce debole ma sempre coraggiosa di Papa Francesco che benediva a Roma.
We preserve our prayers for Pope Francis,
Il Papa che quella mattina del giorno di Pasqua.
who passed away
Consentitemi di
on the
dar
morning
seguito a
Easter,
quella stessa
after
benedizione.
Easter.
Dio ci vuole bene, Dio vi ama tutti e il
Dio
male non
wants-
prevarrà. Tutti
He loves
nelle
you
mani
all,
di Dio.
and we remain all
Pertanto, mano nella mano con Dio e
hand in hand with God.
andiamo.
We go forward.
Siamo discepoli di Cristo.
We are disciples of
Cristo ci
Christ.
precede. Il mondo ha bisogno della sua
Christ
luce.
goes before us.
L'umanità necessita di Lui. Aiutateci anche unendoci tutti
And for
per
a
essere
dialogue.
un solo, sempre in pace.
For being a
Grazie al
people.
Papa.
Thank you to Pope Francis.
Voglio ringraziare anche tutti i confratelli me per essere successore di Pietro, di camminare Chiesa unita, cercando sempre la pace, la giustizia.
And I want to
cercando-
thank chose me to be the successor of Peter
per
in a united
proclamare
church.
il Vangelo, per essere missionari.
and for the Evangelium and for being
Sono
successors
un figlio
of
di
Christ
Sant'Agostino,
in peace.
agostiniano, che ha detto: con voi
Saint
sono cristiano
Augustine.
e per voi vescovo. In questo senso possiamo tutti camminare insieme verso quella patria la quale Dio
Augustine said,
alla
towards
Chiesa
Christ.
Chiesa missionaria, una chiesa che costruisce i ponti, il dialogo, come questa piazza con le braccia aperte, a tutti bisogno della nostra carità, la nostra presenza, il dialogo, l'amore.
We have to be a church that works together to build bridges and to keep our arms open.
In modo particolare a mi querida diócesis de Chiclayo en el Perú.
He says, a special greeting to the
Donde
people
un
of
pueblo fiel
Peru.
ha acompañado a su obispo, ha compartido su fe. Iglesia fiel de Jesucristo,
who have been so faithful in their following of the Church
di
of
Roma,
Christ.
d'Italia. Vogliamo essere una chiesa sin cammina, una chiesa che cerca sempre la pace, cerca
Who
sempre
searches for peace and to help those who are in need.
oggi
Today,
il giorno della
of the Madonna,
sempre camminare con noi, stare vicino.
Mary, for this new mission,
Tutta la Chiesa per la pace
for
del
and the special grace of Mary, our Mother. Grace.
Tu sei
The
benedetto
Lord
fra le
is
donne.
with
Benedetto
Blessed
il
art
frutto del
thou
tuo seno,
among
Gesù.
women.
Santa Maria.
Holy
Adesso
Mary,
a tutti i fedeli presenti e a quelli che ricevono la sua benedizione a mezzo della radio, della televisione e delle altre tecnologie di comunicazione, concede l'indulgenza plenaria nella forma stabilita dalla Chiesa. Preghiamo Dio perché conservi a lungo il Papa a guida della Chiesa e conceda pace e unità alla Chiesa in tutto il mondo.
for all those both here and listening throughout the world and receiving this blessing from the Pope Leo XIV, let us hear
Sancti
His prayer.
Apostoli Petrus et Paulus, de quorum potestates ipsi intercedant pro nobis ad Dominum. Amen. Precibus et meritis Beati Mariis, pro Petri et Pauli et omnium sanctorum. Et dimissis omnibus peccatis vestris, perducat vos Iesus Christus ad vitam aeternam.
for St. Peter and Paul,
Indulgentiam, absolutionem et remissionem omnis
have mercy
peccatorum
on
vestrorum.
us. And
For
Jesus
semper
Christ,
penitens,
may He lead
et
us
emendationem
in
vitae,
peace.
gratiam et finalem per ad vobis omnipotens et misericors Dominus. Amen. Et benedictio Dei omnipotens, Patris, Filii, et Spiritus
And may
Sancti descendat super vos
the
et maniat
benediction
semper.
of the all-powerful
And he went on to say, God. He knew that going in, that however the new they would choose would be the first signal here. Leo is the name of one of the consensus best popes in church history. Leo, recent pope of that name, served, and he was best remembered, which pushed for social justice for workers, laborers around the world. Father Martin, Pope Leo XIV, you knew him as Cardinal Prevost from Chicago. And
My friend said, oh look, there's Cardinal Prevost, and walked up to him and had a little very plain spoken, very straightforward, very kind, very, very, very approachable. I never felt like I was in the presence of some prince of the church. He's a very top of the Augustinian Prior General or the sort of values you and administered really qualified person, and I'm happy and comfortable this choice.
and how big of a moment this was not going to happen?
Going to happen. But again, he has been a combination of even better after all. Combined with so many bishops, made him a terrific choice. You know, I have to say, his temperament is just perfect for this job.
And listen to the bells ringing here in St. Peter's Square. Let's just listen. extraordinary sight over St. Peter's Square. You can see there in the shadow as the sun goes down behind the basilica. Gathered there in the square. We took note last night, 40. They would most likely see black smoke. The faithful members of the Catholic Church and beyond the church from New York City, one of the first things she told me was that I'm not Catholic. That she was hoping that the ability of Pope Francis to reach out and touch people, whoever they would choose next. And we have witnessed history made here today by the Roman Catholic Church in selecting the first Pope from the United States. He will obviously a long, but the name itself signifies efforts by the church to stand up for social justice, to stand up for workers, for laborers all over the world. And Pope would continue after Francis. I was struck that you talk about Peru.
And as you mentioned, means bridge. It was less. We've been banding about it all along. Is this going to be a candidate of change? I was talking with a Vatican insider over in Texas. Very much. While he is said to, it seems that by and large, this is about face, not the referendum that many perhaps hope for or expect.
David's here with us, witnessing history at the Vatican as well. Again, the first Pope named from the United States. Terry Moran, I know you're very moment for the Windy City and in learning that the man who was born in Chicago certainly in these times and in Chicago.
What a great day for the city of Chicago. Yeah, I was born in Chicago. I was born on the south side of Chicago. And I trust it is. Cubs fan on the south side. To be a Cubs fan on the south side of Chicago. But that the fact that he chose the name Leo after that and that ringing declaration in his encyclical of the essential dignity of work and of every worker, their right to form responsibilities of management, that indicates an attitude and an attitude towards workers around the world who have been shortchanged as the globalization of the economy, financialization of the world has essentially concentrated so much wealth. That may be part of his agenda. We may be seeing something there. But there's one other. Does he prefer deep dish pizza or Roman pizza? Very different.
I would say he might have to say he prefers the pizza right here in Rome, Terry, depending on who's within earshot of him. That's a dangerous question. I'll let you ask that of the new Pope if you get the chance. But Terry, you know, something that he was a Cubs fan from the south side of Chicago. Hear him at the Vatican described for his quiet, humble.
That's a great point, David. And another thing that you know, because he's a Cubs fan, is he's well acquainted with suffering. Team can have a bad century, and he knows that, and hopes to sign for his ball club and mine.
Terry, thank you. I want to go down to St. Peter's Square, our chief foreign correspondent. Square since the death of Pope Francis. He's been here ever since, and what an extraordinary piece of history we all witnessed unfold here on the
Amazing. This 2,000-year-old institution can still surprise us, and boy, challenge to the world. The United States, normally associated with secularism, with materialism, with consumerism. Maybe they feel these cardinals that, you know, the church in Africa, the church is growing in those places, and maybe this is the challenge to the West.